Hi guys, this is Fallon with the Yarn Whisperer again. I am talking quietly because it is like 6 in the morning and both of my kids are still sleeping. But I wanted to go over the process of making Plarn one more time because in my recent video I did not have the best lighting and I don't think that I was able to show you everything laid out because I was working with a very limited space. I had one of those lap desks in my lap and had my phone stand attached to the lap desk, and so everything was wobbly and shaky and the lighting was bad and you couldn't see the whole bag in the process, and so I wanted to go over it one more time just to make sure that we didn't miss anything. I have it attached to my kitchen counter now, and these are stains. I'm so sorry for the appearance of my kitchen counter, but I promise it's clean. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into it. So you'll want to take a grocery sack and you'll define this bottom edge, the seam at the very bottom. And if you'll see, I'm sticking my pointer fingers into the edge and the bottom because it's sort of attached along the inside right there on the bottom. So we define that seam, we try to lay that as flat as we can get it, and then since we've already defined the part that's attached along the inside, we can sort of run our hand up along it and you'll see there's a seam on the handle that kind of sticks out. The other side doesn't, and that's the outside. So if we pull that, we stick our hand in here and pull this tight, we'll get it to lay flat. Okay, so then we're going to flip it around. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. We're going to figure out, there's the outside with the flippy bit. Stick our hand in that seam, and then we can lay it flat. And the flatter that we can make the bag lay, the better that our cut will be, the more consistent. So I've got that as flat as I can get it. Then I'm going to fold it in half. And again, we want to smooth it out. Fold that really nice and flat in half. And then we're going to fold it over one more time and smooth it out all over again. So we flattened it out, made sure everything was straight, and folded it in half, folded that half in half again. And so now I'm going to show you the first two cuts that you need to make. The first one is the bottom seam, and we folded it nice and flat so we don't have to go too far in, but I like to go in about this far. And it just makes sure that anything that was connected is cut off because we want this to be wide open. So then we go over to the handle end. You see this bit right here is where it was attached to the bag dispenser that they have at the grocery store. I want to cut underneath it just to make sure that we get all of that inconsistent edge off. And we're left with this. Now, you could be super precise and fold it in half and make sure that you get perfect halves every time. I don't really think that it makes that big of a difference. So I'm just going to kind of, there's my center. Just gauge it by looking and cut this in half. Now we have two pieces, and we're going to cut both of these pieces in half. So we'll guess about right there, yeah. Now we have 4 pieces, and we're going to cut all 4 of these pieces in half. Right about there. the last one right here. Okay, so now what you're left with, if you unfold this, you'll have a big loop. And I think the whole thing fits on the camera this time. Yeah, you have a big loop. And so you want to take 2 of the loops and unfold them like so. These 2 loops are going to go together. They're going to make a knot. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to put it under the loop, and then I'm going to pick it up through there and open it up, and then coming from this side, stick my hand through it and grab the rest of that loop and pull it through. And that created a knot. So we'll do it again. Up through the bottom. Put your hand through the top. Grab the rest. Pull until you have a knot. And you might have to fiddle with this just a little bit because you could pull it tight enough that it would rip, and you don't want to do that. So when you get used to it, what I've liked to do is right at the knot, stretch it out like that. Well, not really stretch, but just run my hand along it to make sure that it's smooth, and make a very small opening from the loop. Get my next loop ready. Make another really small loop. Go up through there. And all of this is going to have to go through that loop. So we go in and grab like so and pull. Show you that a few more times. Obviously, I've got all of these. I'll try and speed through them. Two more. Oops, sorry. I hit my camera. And one more. Now I have had some where the bag had like a hole down the side, and then you can't do it this way. You could take the time and tie them in knots together and then crochet over those knots or whatever, but look at all that. Made all that from one bag. Each piece is probably, it's a foot, it's about 4 inches, about, there's over 8 feet. There's at least 9, 10 feet, 10 feet of Plarn, and you can roll it up and save it. You can add it to an existing project. I like to collect a handful of bags and then go ahead and cut them into strips, and then when I have a good handful of strips, I go ahead and attach them all to each other. And I have some works in progress that I'm making with the Plarn that I've made. You can even, if you do this neat enough, you can actually run it through a yarn winder. I did that once. It doesn't, you know how when you run acrylic yarn through a yarn winder and you pull it off of the yarn winder, the center kind of fills back up? This definitely doesn't do that because there's no give to it. But you can wrap it up on a yarn winder if that's what you prefer and wait until you have a lot. I just keep a Walmart sack with a bunch of Walmart sacks inside of it and work on it as I go. Anyway, thank you for watching again. If you're not already and you'd like to be, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, leave me a comment, and share the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.